What's up, Earth Rockers? It's your boy Shovatar, back again, talking about Castlevania Bloodlines again. This time we're playing as the other playable character in Bloodlines, a gentleman named Eric. Allegedly, this is his name. Eric is very strange. It's like an alternate playable character because he plays almost identically to Chad, and he's not the same, of course. The spear, the intent behind the character, from what I've read in interviews, was to have a character who's like easier to play by giving him a longer range, and the spear does have a longer range than the whip does, but the trade-off is that it does less damage, and so there's no, like, it's not like Sypha, where, like, he has different, like, sub-weapons that are especially powerful. It's not like Grant, or it's not like Maria, where he can, like, move around, like, more than the other characters, than John can. It's really more, like, it's more minimal than that. The longer reach on the spear, I have to say, is something that I barely noticed during the gameplay. What I did notice is that Eric has access to different. Did that skeleton just leave the screen? Okay, no, there he is. Eric has access to some different angles of attack from what John has, and so John has he can whip like in two directions on the ground. Eric has what John specifically didn't have, which is the ability to attack upwards from the ground. So John can whip upwards diagonally if he's jumping, but Eric can stab up in the air or can stab like diagonally upwards just from the ground. But he actually can't do it while jumping, which is a little strange and takes a little bit of getting used to. He doesn't have any added downward angles though. He's just like John. He can only attack straight downwards when he's jumping. So the ability to attack diagonally from the ground is honestly more noticeable to me than the longer range on the spear, because the thing about this game is that there aren't really very many enemies that you can't approach safely. Like, when I was playing this game, I didn't find myself often thinking, like, darn, I'm like too close to this enemy, I wish I was further away. You know what I mean? Like, it's usually, like, about dodging, projectiles. It's not usually about having to maintain distance from the enemy themselves. In my experience, anyway. The other thing about Eric that's different is that he has like a super jump, which I'm gonna do here in a second. Yeah, see there. I don't know. I mean, obviously, like, I jumped in front of him when I shouldn't have. That's another thing about the super jump that takes some getting used to, is that you will land from the super jump facing the opposite direction you started it off in. So, like, if you're facing to the right and you super jump, you're going to land facing to the left, which takes some getting used to. And I'm not sure I really like it, because there's no reason for it to be like that I can think of. Like, yeah, like this guy, I can't really, like those ball and chain guys are guys who you have to be careful about how you approach, but for both John and Eric, the correct play is to approach them when they're not swinging the chain at all, not like wait until they're kind of swinging the chain and then go closer to them. So I don't know. It's not really like the extra range on the spear doesn't usually feel relevant. But what usually does feel relevant is the nerfed damage. Okay, I'll admit that's something that you can't really do on John. But that's like an exception. What I notice way more than the added range on the spear is the fact that it does less damage, because that makes me notice, like, it means you have to, like, fight bosses for longer. You have to go through, like, longer cycles of their attack, especially when it comes to, like, the last 3 bosses, but I'll talk more about that when we get to it. I guess this is actually a boss where you kind of have to be careful about how close you get. But again, like, I'm not sure if there are any of these attacks that, like, Eric can hit him safely while he's doing, but like John can't. Because like I'm at like basically the maximum range of my spear, and I'm still getting hit by like his spear attack. So maybe, and I feel like both John and Eric can dodge the axe attack just fine. So I don't really know if it's ever relevant. This boss actually like killed me a couple times as I was doing these attempts. I don't know. It's like because like I just end up in a corner and he just like walk at me, and I didn't really know how to handle that situation. The trick, I guess, is just not to get cornered. I don't actually remember if Eric damages enemies that he comes into contact with when he does the super jump. I feel like he probably doesn't, just because that would be like good. And usually I tend to assume things will not be good. It seems like they're going to be. But yeah, the consequence of Eric not like playing that differently from John is that I don't have as much to say about him. It's like yeah, you can sometimes kill enemies more easily, but usually it's just like the same. I don't know. I wish he had more like. He needed something else. He needed like a movement thing, or he needed to be like radically different from John, I think, in order for him to be like noteworthy as an alternate character. I don't really have any major complaints with this game, but if I had to pick one that stands out, it would be that. And that's not really like that's more of a missed opportunity than something that's like bad about the game or that actively harms the game. That's really what I mean when I talk about like a complaint or a problem. I don't necessarily mean something that's like not as good as it could be. I mean something that actively harms your ability to play the game. And that's not something that Bloodlines really has. X has that. Dracula X has that for sure with movement speed, and then like Super Castlevania 4 has that with the A2 platforms. Bloodlines like doesn't really have that. Like Lecarde, like Eric being boring isn't an impediment. It's just sort of like you're playing the game again, and now it's like slightly different. He has a different super attack from John, although I don't know if it's like better or not. One thing I guess that's worth noting is that he actually, if he crouches and attacks, he actually doesn't have the longer range. His like crouch attack is really fast, but it's like really short range, which is interesting. But it also makes you feel like, okay, the one thing this guy had is that he has a longer range. So now you've removed that. So it's kind of, I don't know why they would do that. I don't know. I mean, he's probably better than John, just because if you can figure out, like... Although, I don't know, like I'm not really playing this any differently than I... See, this shit right here, like... Yeah, that pause was me contemplating resetting the game. I ultimately didn't. So it's funny that like this is like the successful attempt, right? Get taken down to 2 HP by that dumb fucking robot. This is like one thing that I don't like is that robot there is that like when he jumps, you just have no idea where he's gonna come down. Like every time I think I have it figured out, I don't. Like every time I think, oh, he like jumps over in the direction that he's facing. Well, he kind of does, but how far is he gonna jump? You just like don't know. So sometimes he just fucking lands on top of you. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. So I guess that's annoying, but that's sort of a minor complaint. Damn, that almost hit me. That was close. This is actually an interesting. The fact that Eric can hit diagonally upwards from standing does actually make this Medusa head part a lot safer. So I guess it's easier to play like defensively. It's easier for him to like react to things coming at him. I don't know, I feel like things don't usually like charge you in this game. Usually you are the one maintaining like an aggressive forward pace, so I don't really know how relevant that is. I'm mostly thinking about like the harpies in level 3, that's kind of the part of the game where you would really want like an upward diagonal attacking option. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the super fast stabbing. I guess that's good for dealing with those turrets, because the fact that he's like stabbing super fast means that he's pretty much guaranteed to intercept the fireballs. So I guess that's good. Maybe that's like what that was what that was like designed around. I really don't know. I think here I contemplated picking up the holy water, but then I remembered like how well that worked against the turrets, and I was like, well, why don't I just fucking do that again? Other thing about Eric is that he has 2 levels he has 3 levels with no meat. 3, 5, and 6. Although 6 has a heal during the death fight, but Lecarde has an extra level where he gets no healing. So level 5 is like especially tricky for him. I guess the counterbalance. Well, I'll talk more about level 5 when we get there. Yeah, maybe the reason I have trouble like maybe Lecarde is different, but he's just like not as flashy. Like it might just be like a subtle thing. But again, like if you're gonna make an alternate playable character, I feel like it should convey like a really different experience, which this guy kind of doesn't. And frankly, his design is a little strange too. He has like a blue cape and then a green hood, and he's wearing like red clothes. Are those like the colors of Spain's flag or something? I'm so fucking ignorant. I don't know what Spain's flag looks like. Doesn't Spain have like a weird like orange like gold flag? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. See, I held on to the magic attack sub-weapon because I think I wanted to use it on this guy, and I don't know why I'm now not doing that. I guess this boss is better with Lecarde because you don't have to play the like you don't have to like worry as much about, oh god, is he gonna like walk into me? So I guess now that I'm watching this, there are spots where the extra range is relevant. Because you'd think extra range would be relevant, right? You'd think that would be like really good. Because one of the toughest things about Castlevania games, generally speaking, is figuring out like a safe range. So for him to be able to like to have a wider area where he could safely attack, you'd think would be a bigger deal. But I guess not. Okay, so level 3 is where the fact that Lecarde can attack upwards, it can attack diagonally, is actually useful, because these harpies are some of like the trickiest enemies to fight in the whole game. And being able to stab diagonally, like stab upwards and stab diagonally, gives you the ability to react to their lunges, which is what you can't do otherwise. And he's kind of better at chasing them if they go horizontally, which they tend to do. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really remember if I had more trouble beating the game with Lecarde or John. Like, logic should dictate that it would be easier on Lecarde, but I feel like I have vague memories of having more trouble with Lecarde, even though that doesn't really make sense. That is funny. The fact that Lecarde can like stab diagonally from the ground is good, and it makes like attacking upwards like more convenient. But the fact that he can't stab diagonally while jumping means John actually technically can hit things that are higher up than Lecarde can, even though controlling things that are above him is supposed to be one of like Lecarde's specialties. So that's kind of strange. Yeah, this is an alternate pathway. The main path through level 3 requires using John's like whip swing ability, which of course Eric doesn't have. So this is how he has to do it. He uses super jump. Like, I think I said earlier something about like why not give him like more movement options if you're gonna make a different playable character? And he has the super jump as a movement thing, but like the super jump is barely, it's not like something you can do in combat. It's not relevant to combat. It's just something you can do to like get to a place faster. It's just a convenience thing. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make him, he's not like faster, he can't like jump higher by default. He can't like, I don't know. But I will repeat that he does make this level easier. Sorry, I'm kind of low energy today. I don't know what my deal is. Now, okay. I know the general plot of the game, which I guess I can talk about here because nothing is interesting is going on. This is the fucking auto-scroller. So, the premise of the game is that it takes place during World War I, and that some chick has instigated World War I as like an elaborate human sacrifice to bring back Dracula. Now, that's interesting to me. It's a little bit strange, but it's interesting. And it kind of gets around. Here's the thing about the Castlevania storyline that's strange to me. So the logic, or that I want to talk about. So what they say in the previous Castlevania games, right, is that Dracula can return from the grave once every 100 years, right? And then Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, is established as the first game in the timeline. And that's like 1400 and something, right? Okay, so you have Dracula's Curse, 1400 and something. You have Belmont's Revenge, 1500 and something. You have Castlevania, 1600 and something. Then you have Rondo, 1700 and something. And now it's like you only have so many centuries to work with. Oh, it happened again. I really wanted the axe for these gargoyles, but one of them dropped a fucking sub-weapon that fell into me, that I picked up without wanting it. Fortunately, Lecarde is... Oh, and then they give me the axe right back, so good for them. I guess that is one thing, is that Lecarde has like a better backup plan in case he loses the axe here, because he can probably reach those gargoyles more easily. And he actually is better on this boss coming up here, because he doesn't have to jump to hit him. And if he got here without the axe, he could just not use the he could not use the axe. So I guess as much as I've been saying that it doesn't matter, he does make a difference in the boss fights. I guess he's just not like, he's not easier in the way that Maria is easier, where it's like she obviously like snaps the game. She just like breaks the game's spine, like Bane. It's more of a subtle thing, so which I guess is good. I think it's kind of a strange objective in the first place to create a character with the express purpose of like, we want this character to make the game easier, instead of just like, we want this character to play differently in general. I don't really like it. Although Maria ends up accomplishing both, which is why I love Maria so much, but Lecarde is no Maria. And Bloodlines is no Rondo, although this game is still like really good. And even though I do wish Lecarde was more distinct from John, he is still like an interesting it's cool that there's like two different ways to learn the game, and two different ways to like play the levels, and like different ways to fight the bosses. Replay value. That's the phrase that I'm desperately clawing through my brain for. replay value. This is like... Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about Castlevania, the storyline. By establishing 3 as the first game in the timeline, and then also establishing Dracula only comes back every 100 years, it's like they only gave themselves so many centuries to work with. And then they burn through them pretty fast. And I mean, the solution is to just fudge it, is to just like say, yeah, he only comes back every century except like for when he feels like coming back earlier. Like that's what Belmont's Revenge is. Belmont's Revenge is like 16 years after Castlevania the Adventure. So like Dracula's just back again already. Although and then Rondo, same thing. Rondo's like not Rondo, Symphony of the Night, same thing, right? Symphony of the Night's like 4 years after Rondo, and Dracula's just like back. Although in both the case of Belmont's Revenge and Symphony of the Night, there is like another character who facilitates the resurrection. That being Solel or Soliu, and then in Revenge, and then Shaft in Symphony. Although Soliel was like turned evil. So how did Dracula come back? Well, okay, Belmont's Revenge only exists because of how shitty Adventure was. Like, Belmont's Revenge exists as like an apology for Castlevania the Adventure. So maybe I like shouldn't be considering it. What I'm laboriously trying to get to is that I like the idea of setting a Castlevania game closer to the modern era. Which, if they had followed the strict once every century rule, they eventually would have to have done. You know, either that or do a bunch of like alternate timelines, or maybe both. Fun fact here: the platforms in this section that are going up and down on these hooks are green when you play as Lecarde, and then they're like brownish when you play as John, which is like in Castlevania 3. When the platforms change color depending on what character you are. I'm guessing that's just like a reference. I'm guessing it's not like a graphical thing the way that it was in Dracula's Curse. Okay, good. I was hoping I would more aggressively utilize. I'm doing what I should have done more of in my John videos, which is if I have a gigantic stockpile of gems, just use the fucking super attack. Like, absolutely no reason to be sitting on 36 gems and not, or 44 or 50 something gems, however many I had there, and not use it. So that was smart. I learned from my mistakes. If I could get all the way to that level 2 is kind of insane too. I barely even said anything about it, but that level 2, like getting through the whole thing with my 2 health, that's probably like a testament to the power of the spear. Although you don't really notice it at the time, like I said. But yeah, Castlevania Modern Day. It's an interesting concept. I think that's like a conspiracy theory thing, the idea that like the elites orchestrate massive wars as like large-scale human sacrifices. I like the idea. It's just like strange that but I don't understand. Basically, what I'm getting at is I still don't really understand why Dracula's influence is like all across Europe now. I mean, maybe it's because of World War I. And I also don't get why, when you eventually do fight Dracula, you fight him in England. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. I guess this boss is also easier on Lecarde for when he's large, because it is. I have had problems in the past with like getting too close to this guy when I try to hit him on John. I wonder if I can hit him when he does that like spinny thing above me and like knock him out of the animation. I actually don't know. I know that when he gets really small and charges at you, then you're supposed to knock him out of the attack, but I don't know if you can do that with any other rest of it. I also don't know why they give you the holy water before this guy, because the holy water doesn't seem to be particularly good. Maybe it's to like intercept that charge there, so that you don't have to like time a downward swing. Maybe it's or maybe it has something to do with the holy water's like super attack that I never learned what it was. I'm pretty pleased with myself, apparently. Oh, this is funny. Oh, never mind. I thought I could get it from up there, but I guess not. Hang on a second. Sorry, had to go turn a heater off. Hopefully that'll wake me up a little bit. I'm like too warm. It's like too warm in this room. It's been really cold here for a while, so I kind of went overboard in the process of trying to heat it back up. I will say this for Eric. His design is less ridiculous than John. John kind of looks preposterous. Like his build, his physique is outrageous. When he walks up and down stairs, it looks comical. Eric is proportioned more like a human being. I just don't know why. I just don't know what this outfit he's got on is, and I don't know why it's like 3 different colors. It makes it kind of weird looking. It's like 3 different colors, but like none of them stand out. I mean, his color is supposed to be like green, so why not have him wear more? See, here I was trying to take advantage of the added range of the spear to hit these things, but like these things have such a long range of their own that whether you're playing as John or Eric, it like doesn't matter. You still have to hit them with the fucking boomerang, or else you're just gonna get shredded. And that's what I was talking about there, the chandelier landing on these guys. I mentioned that in my last commentaries, but it never happened. It's nice if it happens, but don't go out of your way to make it happen, is pretty much what I said. This is a terrible commentary. This is like really bad. I don't know why I'm so like bereft of insight. I guess it's because there's like this game is not like this game doesn't have that much like routing to it or like strategizing. Did he? Yes! Alright, that's the other way you get past that guy, is just hope he fucking disappears. That's so funny. Yeah, there's that big yellow guy with like the fucking scimitar is like really hard to kill, especially when his like buddy comes up behind you at the same time. You're like pretty much guaranteed to take damage. But then the trade-off is that sometimes he just fucking disappears. So, like with 3, Eric has an alternate route through 5, and this is the route that means that he does not ever get any meat. Which, I guess the trade-off for that is that the level 5 boss is much easier on Eric, because the boss like flies around, and Eric, it's much easier for him to just like bully it in a corner, which is what you're supposed to do. This fucking thing, there we go. I've never been to Versailles. I don't know how much of the stuff that I'm seeing here is stuff that's like actually in the a place in real life. Okay, this was so good. So this is the Igor Gauntlet of Bloodlines, and it's pretty fucking brutal if you try to like actively engage with it. The little jumpy things that they're putting down are like really hard to hit for the reason that Igors are often hard to hit, which is that they're like too short, and they also have a habit of like stopping short of your attacks. It's not like it is in 1 and 3 where like they'll always get dropped like so that if you just time the swing correctly you're gonna hit them. It's like way harder to just like hit them as they come down. It's like you have to think more about dealing with them, which makes them much more dangerous. But there, fortunately, I picked up with a super spear right before the gauntlet started, and I was able to use that to pretty much get through the whole thing without taking any damage. I was hoping that I would be able to hold on to the super spear through the boss fight, but then I got clipped by a turret because the steps were moving me back up, and now I'm back to normal. Oh well. So only what, 2 more hits to get through the whole level, which is... I mean, I guess I'd rather be in that situation with Eric than I would be with John. Oh, there's the holy water super attack. It does like a little spinny thing. Okay. Didn't seem to be super impactful. Didn't really seem like it did that much damage, but what do I know? I don't like the way these enemies are designed, like visually. I think they're a little like too like this is just like goofy. And I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say it begs the question of who built these, but maybe it's just Dracula's magic. You know what I mean? It's like Palpatine just conjuring Star Destroyers in Rise of Skywalker. It's like Dracula can just do whatever the fuck he wants, I guess. Or although I guess Dracula's not back yet. So I guess Elizabeth, the evil vampire lady, who kickstarts the events of the game, allegedly. Yeah, it's a neat idea. The storyline of this game. It's a neat way to like differentiate it from previous entries. Oh, they only do 1 damage. Okay, well that's nice. I guess I thought I only could take like 2 more hits. I assumed everything that hit me would do like 2 or 3 damage, but damage in a lot of later Castlevania games is more varied than it is in 3 and 4. Why did I do that? I used like the holy water super attack. It must have been an accident. I remember, like, I think I said as a joke in a previous commentary, like, I wonder if they ever did, like, Castlevania during World War II, like the Belmonts versus the Nazis, but I've learned that one of the later Castlevania games actually does take place during World War II. So I'm very excited to see how that works. Yeah, here's the level 5 boss, flies around in the air. Eric, much better at just handling it than John is. If I can get up onto one of those platforms and like get there safely, then this thing is pretty much toast. Is that what I'm gonna do here? Okay, well, I thought it was toast. I was a little bit desynced there, and so instead of interrupting its charge with an attack, it just like charged right the fuck into me. So that's not really good. Yeah, this is actually an example of the problems with Eric's range that I talked about, where it's like the fact that he can't jump and attack means that his maximum effective vertical range is actually smaller than John's. It's just easier for him to attack, to hit things that are closer and above him than it is for John. So that's kind of bad. Like, I guess the more I watch this footage and the more I think about it, the less I like this character. I think I'm getting up to use the bathroom, yeah. That's definitely what happened, because I probably almost pissed myself during that boss fight. should be able to like spin the spear above his head and like fly like a helicopter. I think that would be pretty good. Now it's onward to the gay castle to defeat gay Dracula once and for all. This part is kind of strange. I guess it's practice for the Medusa fight, which like when I did the Medusa fight, because the boss rush at the end of the game is like Death and then Medusa and then Dracula. But like Medusa like starts off as Medusa and then turns. Well, she starts off as a lady, then she turns into Medusa, then she turns back into a lady again. And I don't get if it's I still don't get if it's Medusa or if it's the lady who summoned like Dracula, or did the lady who summoned Dracula turn into Medusa? Because Medusa seems like the kind of thing that Dracula would summon, but Dracula can't summon Medusa if he's not here yet. So basically what I'm saying is that this game's storyline is like probably too complicated and too smart for me. Any story elements that go beyond Dracula's back, you are a Belmont and you have to defeat him, I'm just like, what? I don't get it. It's too complicated if you added more elements to it. I am joking, of course. I do appreciate a complicated storyline if it's there. But obviously, because I enjoy these games, it's not really necessary. But like, if you're gonna introduce elements that complicate the narrative, then you should make like the implementation of those elements clear. Basically, what I'm saying is that I don't get what's going on when you fight the lady at the end. I don't get who that is. I don't get if it's the vampire or if it's Medusa. Because at first I thought it was like, oh, it's the vampire lady, but then she turns into Medusa, right? Like, to fight you. But then in the end credits, it shows the boss and it just says Medusa. So is Medusa turning into the lady, or is the lady turning into Medusa? That's what I don't... If I had to summarize what I don't understand, that would be it. I really want this super attack for the boss fights coming up, I guess. I don't know why. I can understand wanting the super spear, but I don't know why I'm so committed to holding on to the like green ball attack. I don't know what I'm thinking there specifically. I guess maybe I want it for death. Probably. This one I should be able to absolutely crush with the super spear. If I have the super spear and it's like a rematch version with less health, I should just be like, I should just stomp this thing into the ground. If I don't like horribly fuck up. Yeah, look at this shit, man. Okay, I guess this is something like this is like a Lecarde exclusive thing. Being able to shit. God damn it. I was going so well, and then it fucking like the fucking why is the tower spinning anyway? Like, is Dracula doing that? Did they put it on top of a giant like spinning like thing? Like a spinning stand, they put the tower on top of it. It's called the Leaning Tower of Pisa, not the Spinning Tower of Pisa. They do know the difference between leaning and spinning, right? If you spin around too much, you might lean afterwards, but one does not necessarily imply the other. The Blood Moon. This was a weird decision. To have the death fight be like a boss rush, then a death fight? You think that a game that like loves boss fights so much would want more of a substantive Grim Reaper fight? Because as is now, he's pretty like as it is now, he's pretty wimpy. Although, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. If they're gonna do this like thing where you have to fight Death, then Medusa, then Dracula, with absolutely no healing in between, then I guess I'm glad that Death dies quickly. But it's also very odd. I also don't know why, like, I mean, I know it's tarot cards, right? I know death is a tarot card, but it's not really, like... That's not the only thing that death is. You know what I mean? Where's Slogra? Where's Slogra and fucking, Gaben? The gargoyle? I wonder if I'm gonna... No, okay. Yeah, it's probably smart to just not try to hit him there. Well, I wish that fucking monster on top of the tower hadn't hit me. Because, like, the place where Lecarde's lower damage is really noticeable. Well, actually, the death fight is one of them, because the thing about death is that you want to, like, kill him super fast. Well, with this guy, you aren't doing as much damage, so you can't, like, you need more hits to kill death, and also you're, like, your from the ground diagonal stab attack can't, like, hit him when he's up in the air. So, the advantages provided by the character are irrelevant, but the downsides are, and I guess that's what I'm kind of struggling to articulate, is that the trade-off with Lecarde is supposed to be he has a longer range, but he does more damage. But then the fact that he has a longer range is only sometimes relevant, but the fact that he does less damage is like always relevant. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I have to use the fucking axe to hit this guy because I can't hit him. That was pretty cool. Alright. Well, I'll take that. Unfortunately, I got hit. I lost a quarter of my health to the Grim Reaper, which is really not what I want. But I guess what's nice about Lecarde is that he does kind of remove the very slim margin of error that does exist in the Medusa fight. Specifically Phase 2, where you have to like jump back and forth and keep hitting her. And I wonder if the fact that he's like attacking fast means he like... No, there's still a delay. I was wondering if the fact that he attacked fast meant he'd like do damage faster, but the boss is apparently still only able to take so much damage at any given time. Yeah, this is what I mean when I talk about cycles. Like, the fact that Lecarde doesn't do as much damage means that I'm gonna have to dodge 2 of these tail swipes, when on John I only have to dodge 1. And then on this Medusa fight coming up, like, yes, the longer range makes this phase easier, but it also means that she's gonna, like, the phase is gonna go on longer. This phase already goes on too fucking long. Because I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cycles on John with a non-lightning whip. So I think this guy is going to be 8. Yeah, 3 damage per cycle. It's going to be 8 fucking cycles. So strap in, everybody. Grab some fucking popcorn. We're going to be here for a while. And the fact that his crouch attack doesn't have as long a range means that, like, if I have to hit her, like, right there. If I'm crouching, if I, like, crouch too far away, I can't hit her. I mean, that's always the case, but I think you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean anyway. If I land far enough away that I could hit her with a normal attack, but I like don't, I can't crouch and hit her. Because I have to get closer, then crouch, then hit her. I've actually never seen her finish this sword attack. I have no idea what it does. All the other ones I've seen, like the lightning attack just shoots like lightning bolts that you just have to keep moving to dodge. The glowy ball attack at the start summons like the weird fucked up scampery monster things from the Igor Gauntlet. And the fire attack, I don't even remember what the fire attack does. So I guess that's 2, I don't know. But I've seen the fire attack. I know I've seen it, I just don't remember what it does. With the sword attack, I don't remember it at all. Probably because, like, with a sword attack, it's like 6 orbs, so I'm always, like, really on my game about hitting her. Like, I know I have to go fast. It's kind of ironic. It's like, that's the one that you think would be the most likely to get off, because you have to hit her the most times, but instead it's like... Because I'm the most focused on staying on top of her, that's the one that doesn't get finished. I hope that makes sense. I hope, like, anything I say makes sense. Sometimes I worry that it doesn't. Eric Lecarde is wearing sneakers. I just want to like point that out real quick. John wears blue jeans, Eric wears sneakers. I mean, you tell me what those are, right? I'm not like a shoe expert, but that's what they look like to me. Looks like modern day. So I took 0 damage on the Medusa fight, which is good, that's what I want. And now I'm going into Dracula with 3/4 health. Pretty good. Another point where Eric is relevant is in phase 3 of Dracula. He's worse on phase 1 of Dracula because this is an example of his range not being relevant. Because what you want to do in phase 1 is you just want to intercept his, you just want to hit his projectiles, and like, there's no particular benefit for being further or closer to him when you do that. I mean, obviously you don't want to be like right next to him, because then he's just going to hit you instead of your attack, but if your attack is going off at the right time at all, it's going to be in front of you and it's going to hit it. Doesn't matter how close or far away you are, as long as your attack is in front of you and you literally physically are not touching Dracula. Yep. Alright, phase 1 over. Phase 2 go. I figured out what this is, by the way. Like, the fact that he has an orb, or like a staff with like an orb in it, he's like casting magic. I think it's supposed to, evoke Dracula's curse, because he has like a scepter in phase 1 of the Dracula's curse fight, and he's like shooting, like casting magic at you and shit. So I think that's what it is. Goddamn, that hits me? Goddamn, he hits me again? Okay, this is bad. I expect to get hit in phase 2 sometimes. I don't like really expect to get hit by that attack. I expect to get hit by this. I don't expect to get hit by like the pillar attack. Did I kill him? Did he die? I didn't. Okay. I didn't even like notice. I thought he had like 3 health left. Okay. But phase 3 actually Eric is good. Well, actually it's still kind of awkward because John, the way that I learned it on John is John has like this up diagonal whip attack. With Eric, like, I think I have to just jump and hit him horizontally, or like try to hit him diagonally from the ground. Fortunately, he does get out of his corner sometimes, but as long as I'm always able to knock him back in like this, it still works out. It just kind of feels hairier. Yeah, there's more of a margin for error with it than for John. But this part of the phase, however, phase 2 of phase 3 is definitely easier with Lecarde. No asterisks required, because you can be farther away from the source of the flame and then still hit him when you jump over it. So that actually is fine. That still works. But it's very frustrating to me that like the character whose upside is supposed to be that he has a longer range, it has like still has like restrictions on his attacks that John doesn't. That's kind of dumb to me. Dracula's defeated, the sun is shining, there's balls in the sky. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful new year. I get out with 4 HP, which I guess is fine. As I suspected, most of the damage I took was from phase 3, fucking up the fire attack. That's kind of where I expect to take damage on Dracula. It's there, and like maybe a few hits here and there in phase 2, so even though that wasn't like great, it was still more or less what I expected. I guess Eric was destined to become a vampire hunter. This Eric character is very strange. Like, I haven't read anything about him. I don't know if he like shows up again. Although I seriously doubt it, because this is like a weird like side story, and it's like everything about this game is weird. So I'm guessing we never hear from these characters again. I know John Morris is a character from the Dracula novel, reimagined in this game as a football player. That is not a gargoyle. That's like a weird like bat winged monster thing. I know what a gargoyle looks like, and that's not what that is. I know it's just a name, but like things should be named what they are. You know what I mean? Yeah, watching this game is like less fun than playing it significantly, because I think I said this in my last video. I love the way this game plays, but I kind of hate the way it looks, which is an odd position to be in as somebody who like appreciates visuals, but also like stands by the assertion that gameplay has to be the most important thing. So I'm kind of put in the position of like reluctantly liking this game, which isn't great, but that's where I am. What can you do? Yeah, I really thought I would have more to say about in all this, but I kind of didn't. I kind of said the same thing over and over again for half an hour, and then sort of drifted off for the last 20 minutes. But I guess I'll post this anyway. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I need to like have some more coffee or like sleep for a day or something. I don't know, but hopefully I'll be closer to normal next time. Hope you guys got something out of this. Try expert mode, me. Try talking in a sentence that makes sense.